about this again all week. It's let me down. It really, really has. Gone either the weatherman's decisions and or Barbara's ignored mine altogether. So I'm feeling kind of blue at the moment. I kind of am. But, you know, I'm sticking with 26 degrees. I think it's going to get there today. I really do. Currently right now 85.4 Fahrenheit in the office. Comfortable. It's not bad actually. I can get used to that. Coming into a brand spanking new weekend. It's Friday, February 19th. And got to thank everybody for joining us this morning on Facebook Live. If you're going to watch this a little later on YouTube, you know what to do, right? You do. Yeah. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. You got it. Yeah. Do that. That way you get notifications when important people come to Galaxy. And, well, believe me, I got to be honest with you. Have you ever been in a position where you meet your idol? Today, I'm refreshing that relationship. I really am. I'm joined from the band Autograph. Steve Lynch, former lead guitarist, is joining us. We're going to be talking about his brand spanking new book. But first of all, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
You know, it would be absolutely remiss of me if I didn't play this.
Hi, Jorg.
Hey, Jorg. Nice to have you with us, brother.
Jorg's here.
Jorg's
Yes.
here. Germany's tuned in. Nice to have you with us, brother. And believe me, looking forward to meeting up with you on Jorg's World, especially with my guest today, Steve Lynch. Yeah, absolutely. I know Tim's excited. I know Gear's excited. And I'm going to introduce him to Dr. John. Yes, I really am.
And Jay.
And Jay. And Jay, of course. So, my bro, what's the new book's name? What are we going to call this creation of splendor?
It is called Confessions of a Rock Guitarist.
Oh.
That's deep.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
Is
that true confessions?
Yes, it is. It's all the stories I've been through. I mean, literally since the 60s, through the 60s, because I went through the whole hippie thing in the 60s, and then, I started playing live in the early 70s, and so I was going to call it, Confessions of a 80s rock guitar player, but I thought, I started in the 60s, basically. I started playing in 1967, and so I played in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, on up until this day, so putting an 80s guitar player in there, even though that's the era that I'm known from, it kind of doesn't show the whole picture of what I've been through and everything. So,
bro, I am so looking forward to getting a copy of this book. I am.
I think you'll really enjoy it. It's based on comedy. Believe me, there's a lot of funny stuff in there. But there's some serious stories. But I look back at my life and I look at it like, damn. It's been hilarious. Did I really go through all this stuff? I mean, come on, really?
At least you're brave enough to put it on paper. Barbara says I should write a book, but I'm scared. I really am. I don't want the truth to get out. I'm like Paddington Bear, only rather than do that. Oh, dear. But I'm not lying to you, my bro. I have played your music for a good portion of my radio career. I really, really have.
Oh, fantastic.
In fact, you were one of the band's guitarists that shaped my career in my style of music.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
It's true.
It's been my pleasure, believe me.
Believe me, it's been all my pleasure as well. I have enjoyed every damn minute I get to play any of your music. We got Paint This Town coming up next as well. I want to talk about that one.
Oh, great, yeah.
I love that track. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, there's a lot of tracks that I think are comparable to Turn Up the Radio that we have, but, it was, the changes with the record company, just a lot of stuff that came into play that kind of, pulled the plug on promotions. Like the president of RCA, Bob Summers, died, and Bob Busiak came in and took over and completely fired everybody in the New York offices. It wasn't only us that suffered, like on our second album. It was the Eurythmics. It was the Pointer Sisters. It was Kenny Rogers. It was Mr. Mister. Remember them?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go live, Steve, and welcome back to Galaxy, bro.
Yeah.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I don't know how to be cool about this because I'm going to look like a right dick, but Steve Lynch is in the house! Oh my God! Autograph is with us. Oh my goodness, one of my childhood heroes all the way through, and believe me, that's saying absolutely everything. I've been involved in music in a lot of ways, and Autograph being one of the bands that shaped my musical career, and believe me, I just can't get enough of this. Welcome back to Galaxy, my friend. It is an absolute pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure being back, and thank you for having me back. Absolutely. I can't wait to come down and see you guys in person, which is going to be the early part of next year.
Yeah, well, we are working on something there, my friend. We really are. And of course, it was an absolute pleasure the other day to be able to not only introduce you to a good friend of ours, Jorg, which you're going to be appearing on his show coming out of Germany. And Jorg, I know you're watching right now. Kia ora, my bro. Welcome to Galaxy.
Hi, Jorg.
Yeah, but also to a good friend of mine, Tim Steinrock, and I'll give you a story about him. When I first met him, he responded to me by going, "Who the F are you and what the F do you want?" And we've been good friends ever since. And I introduced him to Gay Miranda, coming from the band Biking Queen. He's the manager of that. And now we've introduced you to the whole enchilada. So I don't know whether to apologise, feel sorry for you, and or be happy.
We'll make them work.
What's that?
I don't know whether to apologise, feel sorry for you, or be happy.
I'm happy.
Nice.
No, it's a great thing, and I appreciate all your efforts. You know, it's really cool connecting with these people. I appreciate it, Grant.
Well, it's all about, there's a certain project that's coming up out of the mind of this man. He really is putting something together very, very shortly that we want to integrate it with and create a show, be able to bring something world-class here to New Zealand, and I think Steve Lynch will do just that, combined, of course, with our Nordic brothers and sisters, Viking Queen, and our Canadian friends over there as well, Tim Steinrock and the Mighty One. We're going to get these guys down here performing in front of you guys here in New Zealand. It's going to be a blast, it really, really is. And we're going to introduce him, of course, to Dr. John. Get him going over in UK too. We'll make this Australasian tour a world thing by the time I'm finished with it, believe me, bro. It's going to be exhausting.
Yes, that's right. But networking, it's all worth it. You know how it works. You know, you and Barbara have been doing such a fantastic job. So I think that all this is going to work out into a fantastic international extravaganza.
Exactly. And Barbara says, "How do you feel?" And I keep saying to her, "I'm just riding the wave. This is really, really cool. I'm loving this. I really am."
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, we had a little setback over the last few days with a bit of COVID thing going on. We actually fluctuated in our levels for a couple of days. But hopefully no harm done, to be honest, because we're back on track, making plans for when they lift the barrier on the borders so that we can get this underway. Right now, we can actually look, I guess, at MIQ couple of weeks, get you in here for a couple of weeks. But, you know, that's a couple of weeks. We want to get you in here, get you playing as fast as possible, get you enjoying New Zealand sooner than that, you know what I mean? But we want to make sure that everything's safe. And we don't want to put not only New Zealand lives at risk, but our artists' lives at risk either. You know what I'm saying? This is a deal. It really is. We want everybody to come out of this safely and enjoy it, but we need the experience. We need people to come to the concerts. We do. Can't get excited about going to a concert in the lounge. I really can't. I'm sorry. You know, I'm not.
No.
Doesn't feel the same. Getting all dressed up just to go to the lounge and watch somebody else playing on stage somewhere else.
No, that doesn't work.
No. The only bonus to that is, well, the security guard might be pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's about it. Believe me, otherwise, nah. Having said that, my friend, I want to talk to you, and this is the whole purpose why I've got you here today, my friend, is that you are about to release a brand spanking new book, and I've got 6 people that have got their hand up right now looking for an autographed edition. Tell me about this, because it's fascinating. It really, really is. And believe me, I'm rather dubious about confessions of my own right.
Well, the way it started out is a lot of people over the years have been telling me, you know, when I tell them about, you know, different stories that I've gone through and everything, you know, touring and just, you know, as a young, you know, kid and everything throughout my whole life, all these different episodes. And they said, God, you got to write a book. You got to write a book. I just kept on hearing that all the time from people. And so I started writing down just like one sentence reminders of like a story, you know, before I knew it, I had like 450 different lines. And I thought, okay, it's time to start writing a book. Now, what happened, you know, when the pandemic, that was a year ago when the pandemic thing really started coming on heavy. And I thought, now's the time to sit down and write the book. There's not going to be any live shows. You know, there's just not going to be a lot of traveling or anything. So I'm pretty much stuck at home. Now's the time to put all my focus on getting this book done. And so I started it, and I actually finished writing the last chapter just a few nights ago. And this is what it looks like. It is a very, very long book. It's like going to be over 300 pages long, and because it's my whole life story up to this point anyway. And I'm keeping it very humorous because I look back on my life, and you know, a lot of times when you're going through a situation, it's not fun, but when you look back on it, it's funny. You know, so that it's those times that make really interesting stories in your life. So that's what I do.
Believe me, Steve, believe me, I've been down that road myself. But I'm kind of thinking, you know, that you aren't a stranger to writing books. You've got a couple of books under your belt already as it is, don't you?
Yes, I have. Those are instructional books. I have 3 out. The Right Touch, book 1, 2, and 3. And the first one came out in 1979, actually, right after I graduated from the Guitar Institute of Technology in LA. And I had written down all these different ideas that I was writing, you know, with 2 hands. So I was writing down all their theory and coming up with all these ideas and everything. And by the end of the school year, I had enough for a couple of books, actually. So I published 1 book, and then later on I put out my 2nd and 3rd books.
Yep, and believe me, I've actually had a look at some of those books, but only online, if you know what I mean. I'm guilty of saying I read them from cover to cover. You know, the front cover was great, the back cover was more interesting, but, you know, I read... I really did.
I'll have to send you some. I'm gonna get them reprinted, actually.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to be able to add them to my bookshelf, because, believe me, the comics I've got there are looking pretty lonely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make sure that they have company then.
Yeah, please, because the only other hard copies I've got is, well, computer books, if you know what I mean. How to set up computer systems and stuff like that. I absolutely, I keep my hand in there and write string and integer. I write code every now and again, just to refresh my memory, because believe me, technology moves so quickly that if you give it up, well, you might, you know, miss something somewhere, somehow, and you go, now how the heck did that work? and it's more logical if you work it out as an engineer or, somebody who writes it. There.
Yeah.
Pre-intern, apparently, they were calling me because I was sitting a doctorate in it. You know what I'm saying? So, and didn't quite get there. I got caught up back in radio again. So, well, okay.
Yeah.
But I learned something about computers. Now, having said that, my friend, I can't wait to get you here in New Zealand. I really, really can't. And we are doing a number of things. I want to give a plug for York and York's World. Now, I introduced you to York a couple of weeks ago, actually, and believe me, absolutely fascinated that you're going to be on this show, not only with Gay Miranda and with Tim Steinreich from The Mighty One and Viking Queen in there as well, but yourself. I run a couple of ads that he's got here at Galaxy at the moment, one of them being The Rock Masters. I have never heard York so animated.
What's that now?
I've never heard him. He's animated. He's excited. He really is excited, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get back down to New Zealand either, and go up and see Gary, up in Norway, and he's getting married and all that. And I think the whole thing just sounds like just a blast for me, just to be able to go out and hang out with my buds.
I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble together because we're all going to do the big thing, if you know what I mean. So this is going to be fun.
Look at it this way, Greg. I have to write more chapters, an addendum on the book. So what we'll do is we'll actually create more chapters when I'm down there.
Believe me, it's not going to be more chapters. This is going to be a whole new book.
Okay.
It really is.
Good to me.
Yeah, believe me. How Grant got me arrested in New Zealand. Yeah, Harry fed me are you familiar with hoo-hoo grubs?
Familiar with what?
Hoo-hoo grubs.
No,
You're not?
Oh, no, you
Oh
can't.
dear. You see, we here have a tradition now in New Zealand. Well, actually it's with Aurora Entertainments that we've been doing this ever since we got bands from overseas into New Zealand. This is an indigenous, the indigenous folks of New Zealand are called Maori, right? And I know that you've been to Rotorua, so you are familiar with the traditional Maori tourist city kind of deal, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, a hoo-hoo grub, you know what a caterpillar is, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that's right. You told me about this on the last show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, so I am familiar with it, yes.
Yeah, the
We
peanut...
talked about, yeah, go ahead.
the peanut butter bug. And we also talked about throwing you off a bridge, if I remember right, as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I tell you what.
To go bungee jumping, that's the only place I have been bungee jumping. I did it from a crane, though, and I think it was in Christchurch.
Okay.
Christchurch or Wellington. It might have been Auckland. I don't remember. It was like 26 years ago. So.
Well, believe me, that's a hell of a bridge to throw you off if it's in Auckland. I've actually done that. I've done it with the guy that brought bungee jumping to New Zealand, AJ Hackett. Him and I went.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was working for another radio station at the time, and they were doing a promotion, and he got involved, and, well, yes, off the Auckland Harbour Bridge. Done it. Really have. Scared the pants off me, but it was fun to do.
Oh, yeah. I had a gas doing it.
Yeah, believe me. I would rather take you, if we're going to be in Queenstown, to be quite honest with you, up the Shotover River. They have some of these jet boats that are just scary. They really are. Okay. What they do with the jet boat, believe me. They can turn these suckers inside out, upside down, and all around, and you're still in your bloody seat, which is weird. You know what I mean? They defy gravity and absolute logic, but what a lot of fun. It really, really is.
That sounds like great fun.
Well, Queenstown's the type of place where it's a boutique-y little town, want to be a city, where all the A-listers, you'll fit right in there. You're an A-lister yourself. All the A-listers go and hide away from the world, get away from the paparazzi, and they take their friends with them and leave their mates at home. It's one of these places where you can go and just be You never know who you're going to bump into, and believe me, I've bumped into.
Right.
I bumped into Kevin Costner down there. I got to be honest with you.
Okay.
Also, Keanu Reeves.
Kevin Costner and I were born on the same day. We're the same age, exactly.
Okay. Well, we won't hold that against you.
Yeah.
I tell you what, but it is the kind of place where you can go and paint the town, which I think is a good segue for. Tell me about Paint This Town.
What's that now?
I think it's a good segue for Paint This Town. Tell me about.
Oh yes.
Tell me about this.
Yes, let's paint this town. I haven't heard that song for a long time. When you brought it up to me a little while ago, I thought, wow, I forgot about that one. There's just songs, if you don't keep up with them, you kind of let them go by the wayside. And, that's one of them I haven't listened to in just forever, so it'll be great to hear it again.
Well, I got to be honest with you, we don't forget. We don't. We play autograph, and we have a huge selection of it that we play regularly here at Galaxy. So, with Rock God, yes he is, and an idol of mine, Steve Lynch, live and autograph. Here is Paint This Town. Damn, it's hot in here.
That's not too bad.
It is. It is. It's 86.9 degrees, almost 87 degrees. And climbing. Everybody stop breathing.
Stop making so much noise.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you on a couple of things. The screen froze up a couple of times too, so.
Yeah,
I hate that.
yeah. I feel sorry for anybody that gets a frozen picture of me.
It wasn't bad, Brad. It wasn't bad.
Oh, I don't know. It could be a fate worse then. Steve, I'm absolutely elated to catch up with you, my friend. I want to talk about your new project coming out. If that's okay. I don't want to let too much out of the bag if it's, letting too much out, but I would love you to come back again. And can we release new work that you're going to be doing in the future?
Yes, absolutely.
Nice, because we
I'm
want
going to debut my album on your show.
Oh, do that.
Whoa.
Do that.
Yeah,
I dare you.
yeah.
In fact, I double dare you.
I'm not sure whether to write. We'll talk about this. Do you want to come back and talk about this?
Yeah, right after this song.
Okay.
Cool.
But I'll explain. My plans for that as well. So.
Nice.
But hey, it's what. You know what? It's 28 degrees here.
Okay.
Celsius.
Okay.
It's 28 degrees Celsius here.
Okay. So you're warmer than us.
It's 82 degrees here, so that means it's 28 there.
Okay. Well,
But I mean 28 Celsius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You said a little while ago it's what, around 20 degrees Celsius down there right now?
yeah,
Yes, but
21
in the
degrees
office-
Celsius.
But in
Yeah.
the office,
Okay.
it's the other.
But
So you'd be around, what's that, 70, 74?
something like that.
Outside. Yeah.
That's outside. Inside here we're 87.0.
Okay.
That's
that's what it is here.
It's a
It's
sweat
82,
box.
Yeah, it's a sweat box in here. It's all because of the computers and everything as well. And we
Yeah.
have
Oh, sure.
a
Yeah.
big window there that lets all this heat in. Because the sun bangs straight into it. We're looking straight into the sun, you know what I mean?
We're
Oh,
tough
boy.
Kiwis. We don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, no, we don't have mechanical air conditioning. We have Kiwi air conditioning. It's called open the bloody window.
Particularly when your house is old.
Oh dear, oh dear,
Oh,
oh dear.
it's 1 degree Celsius in Germany.
1 degree Celsius in Germany?
Yeah, that's a bit cold.
Yeah,
York.
that is a bit.
Minus
I was
28 in Calgary.
Yeah.
minus 28 in Calgary.
Right.
I was complaining at 10 degrees this morning at work. When I got to work, it was only 10 degrees. I'm going, oh God, it's cold.
Poor crap.
Oh dear, oh dear. That's true. Feel sorry for me.
Oh.
Oh, dadums. We have about a minute and a half to go. Steve, I was being told by my voice in my head that we're in 64 countries, 97 cities this morning.
Really?
65.
That's fantastic.
65 countries now. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. I like that.
It's 6.
You guys are getting to be
6 degrees and.
really world famous here now.
No,
No, I don't know.
We're not
We don't
famous.
know.
No, we're not famous. We're just liked by a lot of people.
Yeah. That's all that matters, really.
Exactly. Well, actually, what matters is actually you, your music, and how you write the stuff, and where you get it produced, all that sort of stuff. Without people like you, bro, I wouldn't have a job. So please, please, please keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a job. Let's get back to work.
Galaxy.
You know, I don't know about you, Steve, but that takes me back. That really does take me back in the day.
It does me too. It reminds me of that whole time era when we were recording that song and everything. It was just, it was a different time. We're looking at, what, 36, 37 years ago now. So, you know, that's quite a while ago.
Yeah, believe me. And I think back then I was still going to university, learning the job that I'm doing today, if you got to be honest with you. And one of the first times I ever first heard of autograph, I used to work for this radio station way up in a ski field called 2XO in the snow, and they had 7 records. And autograph was one of them. They really, really were. So believe me.
Oh, that's great! Wow.
we got. Those were the days of the old Garrett turntables and valve units and everything. Wow, that goes back a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. But 2XO in the snow. Cut my teeth in snow, so I can understand how it's snowing over in parts of Canada right now and parts of America. Over in places, and believe me, no, not for me. I like it where I am right now. I actually complain if it gets down to 0 and Jack Frost comes along. I am bitching like no tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You should live in Florida.
I like 28 degrees. I do. That's friendly. I love that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Celsius.
Yeah.
There. I mean, Celsius here today. 82 degrees. Yeah, so that'd be 28 Celsius, and so.
Yeah. I
it's
like
nice.
that.
It's very nice. There's a nice breeze out going, and I just went and got my coffee, and and it's beautiful out.
Does nobody make their own coffees anymore? I was talking to a chappie in Canada, and he goes out and gets his own tea from the. Look, you know, there's a thing to be said about the jug, a bit of water, a coffee, you know, some sugar, and put it into a vessel. You know, it takes a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I get that.
There you go.
Believe me, everybody I'm talking to these days are holding items like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm old traditionalist, I think. You know, I like to be in control of making my own coffee at
Well,
least.
John's online.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and John, good on you, bro. You understand. Did you receive the photo of the Lamington? You know, the real
Yes,
size
I did.
Lamington the other day. I'm
Yeah.
sure I sent Barbara. Do you know what a Lamington is, Steve?
What?
A Lamington is.
No, here we go.
No.
Okay, so you've never seen them roaming in the wild?
No.
Okay, well, I got to let you know now, you need a big net.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're usually found in their natural habitat at the bakery.
Okay.
Okay, and when you catch one, believe me, they are absolutely delicious. I like them as they come, natural.
There you go.
Yeah, believe me. I'll get Barbara to send you a photo of what I'm talking about. Then you will
Okay.
understand. Later on, they kind of hang out with the pavlovas.
What's that now?
They kind of hang out with the pavlovas, I'm being told.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Okay.
good friends apparently. Steve, Believe me, I'll get Barbara to send you instructional videos and all sorts of things there. You know,
There we go.
can be complicated, but you know, we could even write.
I will study up on all this stuff so that next time we talk, I know exactly what you're talking
There
about.
you go, there you go. Believe me, you've got a man in Canada right now just absolutely having fits of laughter, I'm sure of it, because believe me, we introduced him to the Lamington running in the wild as well. This guy wears red sneakers too, by the way. But having said all of that, Steve, there's a little something in the works right now. A little birdie's been telling me that you've got a project underway and are
Yes.
looking to be doing something musical very, very soon. Is it too early
Yes.
to ask too many questions?
Does it what now?
Is it too
Sorry.
early to ask too many questions?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. No, I'm just basically I finished my book. So what I'm doing now, I started a couple nights ago, is I'm just proofreading through the whole thing, making sure that I got all my T's crossed and I's dotted and everything, and just making sure that I'm using the correct grammar. And I realize there's about 8 stories that I need to add on, but they're only like a paragraph or 2 each. So I'm looking at realistically having it done in about 4 or 5 weeks. Proofread and everything, all ready to go off to the printers, and so that's it. So then I start on my new project, which is Blue Neptune, and that is a concept album. It's like whatever I feel like doing. I've been writing this bizarre stuff lately, and sometimes it's like it comes out more symphonic sounding or opera. I want to have opera in there. I want to have some orchestral things. I want to have some world beat things, some African beats and everything. I want to throw everything in there. One of my favorite albums of all time has always been Dark Side of the Moon, and Pink Floyd. And I grew up on that, and I've listened to it more than any other record that I've ever owned. And I just look at it like they kind of just went on this experiment and just did whatever they felt like doing. And they ran songs together, and they didn't want to portray themselves as a band that was just trying to get radio play and put out singles. In fact, they never released a single, just like Led Zeppelin never released a single. They just thought, let the music do the talking, and just if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's not your thing. But because of that attitude that Pink Floyd had, and the fact that they were just so willing to experiment with all these different things, I've always thought to myself, I want to do an album like that, where it's just conceptual. It's just experimental, and you just do whatever you feel like, and there's no boundaries, and that's what I'm doing.
Is that more Roger Watery or
Yeah.
or Gilmore?
Well, both, I would say, because during that particular album, and Wish You Were Here as well, it was mainly Roger Waters that was writing the material. And he'd come up with some of the lyric ideas, and then David Gilmour would kind of take over and put the melodies into it, and of course did all the guitar stuff that really brought it to life, and so. I can't really pick between David Gilmour or Roger Waters because it's a combination of basically what the two did together, and that's what I'm doing with myself, is just kind of just doing whatever I feel like doing without there being any restrictions whatsoever.
I get that, and in fact, I got to be honest with you, I like the radio album that Roger Waters did. That was kind of conceptual right there, to be very honest with you. Absolutely love that. Unfortunately, we've run out of time right now, but I would really, really love to be able to continue this on at some stage in the near future and be able to talk more about the progression of your new projects, because I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited now. I really, really am. Again, I can't wait to see you in person. Can't wait to, have a bit of fun with you. Into shenanigans, as you know, so
it's going to be great to be back down there as well. I can't wait. I absolutely love New Zealand. It's going to be great to hang with you guys, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, believe me, bro, I am too. You just don't know how much. You really, really don't. So we will move on, but hang in there for a second. We'll just switch over to the other station, other studio. Sorry. Here's Kiwi band, Lad. And why? Why?